Adenya main ke kota tua. Abis sentuh mampir beli kerak telur. Jakarta ini umurnya mau 500 tahun lamanya. Tapi semangatnya kagak pernah pudar. Aye jamin, kagak bakal molor. For those of you who may not speak Betawi, there is a traditional rhyme called pantun. It translates to, come hang out in the old town and grab some kerak telur along the way. Jakarta is turning 500 years old, but its spirit is not slowing down. Good morning, respected judges, honorable guests, and everyone here today. Let me start with a quick question. Does anyone in this room know why the Betawi people or the indigenous people of Jakarta always add an S sound to the ends of their words? Ade, mane, aye. It sounds a bit funny, doesn't it? But give it a second thought. It is not an ordinary accent. It is a 500-year-old linguistic fingerprints that marks the exact moment when Malay, Arab, Chinese, Dutch, and Portuguese cultures met together in a bustling port called Jakarta. And I happen to study at SMA Negeri 1 Jakarta, a school that has stood for over a century, walking every single day through hallways once crossed by people who could never have imagined the global metropolis Jakarta would become. And soon, Jakarta will turn 500, 5 centuries. That is not a milestone you simply scroll past on TikTok. It represents an incredible transformation from its origin as Sunda Kelapa, a modest trading harbor, into one of the most densely populated city on earth. In fact, dual-annual urbanization prospects frequently rank Jakarta among the most bustling urban hubs, keeping pace with global giants like Tokyo and New Delhi. Our city has survived colonization, revolution, floods, and endless traffic. And yet, it still stands tall. But here's what truly keeps me up at night. We are undoubtedly loud. Indonesian netizens are well known for being the noisiest digital citizens on the planet. Yet, when it comes to reading, the 2022 PISA data places Indonesia at the 70th place out of 80 countries in literacy. We produce a tremendous amount of noise, but not enough of it carries substance. And yet, there is a fascinating plot twist. Our national reading interest score is actually climbing, surging from 66.7 to 72.4 in just 1 year. Jakarta is performing even better, boasting a literacy culture index nearing 79, with library visits now reaching over half of our population. So, what does this mean? It means we are finally walking in the right direction, but our pace is still too slow. And what will truly accelerate our progress isn't just reading more books, it is reading our own roots. Consider this harsh reality. According to our Central Bureau of Statistics, less than 70% of Gen Z still use their regional languages daily. For the generation born after 2013, that number drops even further. The Betawi language, the very soul of our city, is now categorized as endangered, not because it was banned or legislated out of existence, but because younger generations have grown quietly ashamed to speak it. Some of us would rather stay quiet than say aye or mane out loud, fearing it sounds outdated. But it isn't outdated. It is our identity, and such is the core of this misunderstanding. Many of us mistakenly believe that growing up means leaving the past behind. But look closely, what has truly sustained Jakarta isn't its towering skyscrapers, its MRT lines, or its luxury malls. It is its living traditions, our kerak telur, our ondel-ondel, and that funny soft S sounds at the ends of their words. Jakarta didn't grow by abandoning its heritage. Jakarta grew because it was deeply rooted in tradition, yet bold enough to write new stories on top of old foundations. So, let me ask all of us here today, 500 years from now, if our great-grandchildren ask us, what was Jakarta like back then? What will our answer be? Will we say, well, we used to have rich regional languages, but they vanished before we bothered to pass them down? Or will we proudly say, we guarded them, we carried them forward, and they are still alive today. Pride is never simply handed to us. It is a choice we make every single day through small action. It is choosing to read the history of our own city instead of just reading captions on social media. It is choosing to speak our native tongue with pride, not just in private, but out in the world. It is visiting the cultural sanctuaries of Setubabakan and Condet instead of retreating into malls that look identical everywhere else in the world. If we want Jakarta to remain celebrated 5 centuries from now, we must first learn to read our own roots. If we want a Jakarta that takes pride in its history, we must be the ones to embody that pride today. And if we hope to be the generation that leads the future, we cannot lead with empty hands rather. We must lead with the rich heritage that has been entrusted to us. Imagine a Jakarta where youths can read the history of their city with the same enthusiasm they bring to scrolling through social media. Imagine a Jakarta where the Betawi dialect is not considered as something outdated, but as a celebrated identity. Imagine a Jakarta celebrating its 500th anniversary where the youth not only know which building is the tallest, but also understand what the city managed to endure for half a millennium. Because Jakarta is not merely about glittering future. Jakarta is an ongoing legacy, a tradition where every single generation adds its own new chapter. And we, right now, are writing that very chapter. The only question is, how will we write it? Will we tear out the old pages, or will we continue this story with fierce pride? Allow me to close with one final pantun. Kagak usah jauh-jauh nyari jati diri. Cukup ingat dari mana kita berasal. Jakarta 500 tahun tetap berdiri karena tradisi yang dijaga bukan yang ditinggal. I'm Gracie Angel Valentine Limbong and happy National Children's Day. Thank you.